1 minute. Call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Buckner?
Here.
Reverend Campbell?
Here.
Mayor Gilstrap? Vice Mayor Jones?
Here.
Dr. Miller? Mr. Saunders?
Here.
Mr. Shanks?
Here.
Mr. Vogler?
Here.
Mr. Whittle?
We now have our invocations by J. Lee Vogler, Jr., followed by the pledge.
Mayor Gilstrap?
Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us all stand, please.
Let's bow our heads. Lord, we are grateful tonight. Grateful to be able to meet in this place and discuss ways to improve our city in a safe and secure environment, free from persecution or intimidation. Grateful to live in a city that is getting better every day, filled with people doing their part to make a difference. Grateful that this week we've honored a man who asked us to judge people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And we are grateful, knowing that your blessing and grace is there for all those who choose to receive it. Lord, we are grateful. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you're looking for our mayor tonight, if you're viewing at home or you're here tonight looking for our mayor, he is celebrating a brand new grandbaby, so he's away spoiling a brand new grandbaby. Communications from our visitors, I yield to our clerk to give instructions in regards to communications from our visitors. Madam Clerk.
Citizens who desire to speak on matters not listed on the agenda will be heard at this time. Citizens who desire to speak on agenda items will be heard when the agenda item is considered. Each person will have 5 minutes for speaking.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Anyone would like to speak from any item not on the agenda may come forward now. Anyone who would like to speak, please state your name and your address, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Curtis Frith. I am the founder and owner of Fritz Consulting. Fritz Consulting is an insurance company. We have opened here at 153 Deer Run Road, right here in the city of Danville. We're here tonight because we need insurance agents in this area. We also are a pre-licensed school. We're able to give them the necessary training and prepare them for the state exam. And I'm making this announcement tonight because I'm going to invest in 10 people. This is an ongoing thing. We're going to pay all their expenses to 10 people and prepare them to take the state exam and go ahead on after they pass and get their license. Then we're going to put them with a contract through our insurance company where they can begin to make money. I want to continue this. So the first 10 is on me. I'm taking on all the expenses. So I want to need a little help to do 10 more. It costs about a little over $2,000 to put 10 people through this course. That prepare them for their training, their books, everything they need to become a licensed agent. I can hire as many as I need. Right now we have leads all over the state. We are a final expense insurance company. We're able to insure anyone 0 to 85, no matter what the health condition. You can have cancer, stroke, diabetes, dialysis, heart attack, HIV, COPD. We're able to get you some what we call life insurance. So we're presenting to the council that we have the jobs available here in Danville. We need help in order to bring it to pass. I've been doing insurance. I've been licensed and doing insurance since 1981. I also have an office in Raleigh, North Carolina. I have an office in Warsaw, North Carolina. We have offices in Charlotte. We have offices in Burlington. We have offices in Wilmington. And we're looking to come into this area, into the Virginia area. Talk to some of the local funeral home administrators here. They said a program like ours is really needed. This is one of the reasons we chose Danville, talking to some of the funeral home people that's in this area, who said there are a lot of deaths occurring without any type of life insurance, which put a strain not only on the family members but on the city itself. So we hope to remedy that situation. I'm going to yield a little bit to one of our agents here in the Danville area, Mr. David Wilson.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm just here with Mr. Frith and Mrs. Frith. I've been working with them for about 1.5 years now, and I find that the opportunity fulfilling. I've been working on my other job for a lot of years, but in the 1.5 years that I've been on this job, being able to help families, being able to get people insurance and get them covered when they have been turned down by so many other people, when they have conditions that won't allow them to be covered by other companies, has been very fulfilling. And to be able to talk with families and share with them the need for it, as well as see the success afterwards, and no one says success in death, but when they have the resources there in order to take care of their loved ones and put them away respectfully, that is a success. We're looking for other agents. Right now, I'm one of the few in this area that's with Frith Consultants and the company that we work for, and we also need some help. There's a lot of people in this area that are not covered, a lot of people in this area that need to have something in place in case something was to happen. And we're looking to help others that looking for employment, those that are energetic, that are looking to build something for themselves. Their work schedule is flexible. They also have an opportunity to make as much money or as little money as they choose to, whatever their desire is. And we just hope that we have some people out there that are interested. We'll train you, we'll work with you, we'll get you to the place where you need to be in order for you to do what you need to do. We thank the council for allowing us to come and sharing with the public as well as with the city of Danville and surrounding, because we're not just looking at Danville, we're looking at Virginia, because Virginia is wide open. And we just hope that we have some people out there that will be interested, that we can help to do that.
Thank you all so much. Any questions? Mr. Frith, I want to thank you so much because you contacted the city at the time when the announcement was made in regards to the 300 layoffs at Tel Vista, and you contacted us and told us that you have jobs available and you came here to share. So just want to thank you so much, and thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to speak in any matter that's not on the agenda may come forward now. If not, ask for consideration for the approval of the minutes. Councilman Campbell, is there a second? Councilman Buckner. Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckner?
Aye.
Reverend Campbell? Aye. Mayor Gilstrap? Vice Mayor Jones?
Aye.
Dr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Aye.
Mr. Shanks?
Aye.
Mr. Vogler?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Consideration of appointments to the following boards. Councilman Buckner.
Yes, Vice Mayor. We met last week, or week before last, the Appointments Committee, and we put forth a recommendation, a resolution appointing Emmett Young to the Fair Housing Board, and also a resolution appointing, Tommy Bennett to the Fair Housing Board.
Second, please. Mayor Sherman Saunders, Councilman Sherman Saunders, is there a second? Any discussion of the motion? Just want to say Tommy Bennett is here. Tommy, would you mind standing, and thank you for willing to serve. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Reverend Campbell?
Aye.
Mayor Gilstrap? Vice Mayor Jones?
Aye.
Dr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Aye.
Mr. Shanks?
Aye.
Mr. Vogler?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Mr. Buckner?
Aye.
Consideration of approving the City of Danville's revised financial policies. Motion, please. Councilman Shanks.
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor. I move for adoption of a resolution approving the financial policies of the City of Danville, Virginia.
Second by Councilman Buckner. Discussion of the motion. Councilman Shanks.
Came a little earlier than I expected, but I wasn't quite ready. But this is, and I want to thank Michael Atkins and the city manager. This is something that I have felt very strongly needed to be revised since the inception of the policy that City Council adopted. And it's important, I think, that the citizens know that we keep an eye on the assets of our utility company. The old regulation prior, or policy prior to tonight, was that additional contributions to the general fund could be made based on the gross, basically gross receipts of the utility companies. But this actually considers the assets, the value of the assets of the utility, and ensures that we're properly reinvesting in the utility. So this is a very important, it may seem like may not seem like it, but it's a very important policy to adopt, and I encourage City Council to adopt it, and I thank Michael Atkins and Ken Larkin for getting this together.
Thank you, Councilman Shanks. Any more discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mayor Gilstrap. Vice Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Dr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Mr. Shanks.
Aye.
Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye. Consideration of endorsing the naming of the Danville Public Library and approving the design and style of the new sign. Councilman Vogler.
Yes, Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution naming the Danville Public Library the Ruby B. Archie Public Library.
Second, Dr. Gary Miller. Discussion of the motion. Councilman Vogler.
Yeah, I just, first of all, wanted, in case those who don't remember, just as Councilman Campbell and I both served on the Memorial Commission, which oversaw this initially, and I was fortunate enough to chair and just had the opportunity to be hands-on with this in the last couple of months, and the outpouring of support from the public for this has been tremendous. Ruby Archie was obviously a tremendous person and leader for this city and this region for a number of years. She was also a wonderful educator, and so this is a great thing in a number of ways. For one, it is, to my knowledge, the first municipal building in the city of Danville to be named after a woman, which I think we've had several over the years that have contributed great things. But for this to be the first, I think, is a wonderful moment in our history. And also, to me, it's an inspiration not only to little girls out there to look up to and aspire, but really to anyone who aspires to chase after their dreams and make a difference in their community. And so hopefully this will serve as a beacon for that. But I'm proud to support it tonight.
Any more discussions on Dr. Gary Miller?
Yeah, well, Ruby Archie is just a wonderful woman and an educator, and I'm very proud to support this. I think we've got a good design. It's going to really look nice. Alpha Kappa Alpha has stepped forward, and they're going to fund this. And by the way, if you haven't contributed BB&T on Collins Street, send your contribution to the Ruby Archie Library Fund. Certainly we've got enough funding to do the sign, but we'd like to do a little more inside with the plaque and maybe even scholarship fund. So please remind people to contribute to this fund for this great woman of Danville. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Miller. Any more discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Dr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Mr. Shanks.
Aye.
Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Mayor Gilstrap.
A resolution approving the design and style of a new sign for the Danville Public Library. May I have a motion, please? Councilman Buckner.
Yeah, Vice Mayor, I'd like to make a motion approving a resolution naming the Danville Public Library the Ruby B. Archie Public Library.
No.
I'm sorry, we just did that. I'd like to approve a resolution approving the style and design of the sign to be placed on the Danville Public Library honoring Miss Ruby B. Archie.
Second, please. Councilman Shanks. Discussion of the motion.
Which one? There were two options.
There's two options. Are we, which one?
B.
The one was the book and one was the
book one.
The book.
Yeah.
Councilman Shanks seconded. Is that what you second? That's good.
For the
Discussion
record,
of
that's B.
B.
Yes,
the
B.
book.
That's
B. Discussion of the motion, Dr. Gary.
I think it's an excellent design. The book catches your attention, and then you read the name. So it's an open book. And I think it's an excellent sign.
Thank you, Dr. Gary Miller. Any more discussion of the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Aye.
Mr. Shanks?
Aye.
Mr. Vogel?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Mr. Buckner?
Aye.
Reverend Campbell?
Aye.
Mayor Gilstrap? Vice Mayor Jones?
Aye. Communications, City Manager.
Yes, thank you. Folks in the community have probably known, if they've driven on the streets, that we've had our public works crews out salting the roads in preparation for potential of snow. I'm hoping that people will keep safe while they're out there and be on the lookout for all our public works vehicles, trying to help you and the traveling public throughout the evening and tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Nothing this evening, Mr. Vice Mayor.
City Clerk.
Nothing, sir.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Saunders?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Shanks?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Mr. Vogler?
Yeah, just a couple quick points. It's a great time to be in Danville, and we talk about it all the time. I don't need to run through all the reasons, but you may or may not have seen yesterday, there was a ranking that came out from the website Move Buddha, which is actually, I know it's a wild name, but it's actually one of the leading websites in the country in terms of helping people choose where they want to move and help them with that process. They put out a ranking of the top 100 small cities to move to in America, and that criteria was 10,000 to 50,000 in population. The third ranked city in the entire country in the top 100 was Danville, Virginia. That's a tremendous ranking for our city. And there was a number of positive things. They had a great quote from our city manager in there and did a good job checking off a lot of them. But there's a lot of positive things happening in Danville. Do we have challenges? Absolutely. Every city has challenges, and we still have challenges, but we've got a lot of great things happening. Whether it's $100+ million invested in our river district, private investment invested there, world-class YMCA, the renewed engagement and commitment from our citizens to step up and to get involved. I mean, I know all of us here on council, we see it all the time. People stepping up and saying, what can I do to help? I want to get involved. Different groups wanting to make a difference and make an impact, and it seems like that has only grown in the last several years. I saw another great example today on Facebook. For those who follow boxing, you may be familiar with Joe Cusimano, who is a Danville native, who's working up the ranks in the heavyweight boxing division. He put something on his Facebook today that says, I want to get more involved in Danville. I want to do something to help our youth. Can someone help me find the right places and the right people? I see and hear it all the time. Marcus Luck with his gym, done for years, done great things for our youth. And I could think of dozens and dozens of more citizens who are doing it all the time. You don't always hear their names or in the newspaper or things like that, but it's happening. Danville's a great city, a great place filled with great people. I truly believe we're in the midst of a great comeback in this city, and it's reflective all the time from the positive news, whether it's VML awards or rankings like this one. You know, we just brought on, he'll be coming on board real soon, our new police chief, Scott Booth. I truly believe he is the right man at the right place at the right time for what we need right now. Everybody, the feedback you've seen has been tremendous for him. The enthusiasm that he displays, it's contagious. He's got me fired up again. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm excited about where we're going to go in 2018. We have a great council. Everybody here, we're all a part of the team working together with our citizens and everybody. So I'm just excited about where we want to go. And I want to thank our Vice Mayor for doing a great job tonight, filling in as the chair.
Thank you.
And for everything else he does, but did a tremendous job tonight. Looks very comfortable up there. He did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Whittle?
Yeah, I do apologize for being late. We were preparing for the weather also, but I see that y'all handled things just fine without me, and just brace for the weather. Thank you.
Mr. Buckner?
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody a happy snow day tomorrow. As everybody knows, city schools are out, so be on the lookout if you have to be out tomorrow. Mr. Jones, I know you're not going to like to hear this, but if it snows good, I will definitely see a lot of you tomorrow at Woodbury Hills. We will be attacking that hill with sleds. So number 3 in the nation, small cities to live in Virginia or in the country. I think it will be number 1 before you know it, man. We're moving on up the ranks pretty quick there. As Councilman Vogler said, we do have a lot of challenges. We do have a lot of hills to climb, but we'll get there. we're doing an excellent job. This is a great council we have here, and I feel like we're all headed in the right direction. So thank you to everybody. Be safe. Have a good night. Thank you, Mayor.
Reverend Campbell,
Nothing.
Mayor Gilstrap, Vice Mayor Jones.
Just want to say yesterday, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity acknowledged our former mayors, Charles Harris, Ruby Archie, Honorable Sherman Lee Sr. was there as the commencement speaker, and I saved Sherman Saunders for last for a reason. A couple of months ago, Sherman was out sick, and it really did my heart great yesterday to see him being able to walk up there and accept an award from this community, appreciating all the work that you've done in this community, and to be able to receive your flowers while you were able to smell them. And you did a superb job in accepting that nomination. So just want to say congratulations again to you, and it was well deserved. And it was just mentioned that we do have a great council. Just want to thank all the council members for your prayers for our mayor, John Gilstrap, and the birth of his grandson, another grandson. And once again, as was forestated, please be careful tomorrow. Schools are closed. Snow is on its way. We don't know how much we're going to get. But again, I want to thank all council for supporting me tonight. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Dr. Miller.
Yeah, I want to allude to the breakfast yesterday, too. That was a great event. Sherman Lee was the keynote speaker and from Roanoke, and many of us know him because we've met him at the Virginia Municipal League, so we've become good friends with Sherman Lee. And then our former Mayor Sherman Saunders is honored. He did a great job. His speech was good. The lady beside, when Sherman sang the Southside High School fight song or the alma mater, she suggested that he needed to keep his day job. That's okay. But anyway, I think it's real impressive. We moved up. A few years ago, Danville would have been 97th on that list of top 100 cities, but we certainly are doing much better in this city. A couple of things coming up. On Sunday, I had the privilege of sitting with Fred Motley. It was at the Color Brave dinner, and that's, when you talk about racism and speak up for equality. And Fred reminded me, and I'm going to remind you, that on February 3rd is the annual storytelling festival at the museum. And he invited each and every one of you to come out and hear the stories. And it's always a great event. And next Sunday at 5 o'clock, rain, shine, or snow, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be the Peace March, the annual Peace March, starting at the Martin Luther King Bridge to speak out against violence. And then finally, several of us went to Rocky Mount the other day at Sports Tourism Committee. I want to thank everybody that went. They took a day out of their work. Councilman Vogler, our city manager, Meg Stevens of Averett, Tommy Dotson, Kenny Lewis, Coach Marshall, the track team, Steve Jones. We went to see what a city is doing. Has been very successful in sports tourism. Sports tourism is a $6.5 billion business. It's, as they say, recession-proof. People play sports and have their kids play sports, even in the midst of recessions. And they've sort of a flagship for places that have got sports tourism. They've got fields with softball, baseball, soccer, disc golf tournaments. They hold tournaments for everything, like 200 and some events a year. They've got like 2,000 hotel rooms, and they're adding more hotel rooms. Danville's a little lagging behind that. We have about 700 hotel rooms, so we need to pick that up. But it just tells you how many people come to these tournaments. And they're building a complex, an indoor complex, for pickleball, basketball, volleyball tournaments. So they know how to do it, and we got some good hints and recommendations, and we just need to find our niche and get people behind this, because I think it could bring great benefit on hotel rooms, meals. I mean, they bring a lot of revenue, millions of dollars, and I think they'd invested about $15 million, and their return so far was about $65 million so far on sports tourism. So keep that in mind. We're going to have further committee meetings. We're going to have a public input committee meeting where we hear from the public and see what you think. And finally, be safe tomorrow. The snow is coming. Be mindful of your city workers. They're out there in the midst of this, and we've had city workers critically injured or even killed. You know, they're out there trying to clean the streets, and people are going a little too fast. And so be mindful of these people. They get out in the worst storms and clean your city. So be careful of yourself and be careful of other people. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for those of you who've joined us tonight. Tommy, thank you for accepting a position on the Fair Housing Board. And as Dr. Miller stated, everybody be safe tomorrow. Meeting adjourned.